it's just a crush. I know it's just a crush. 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 I know it's just a crush. 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 I know that it's just a crush. But I always read way too much into stuff. The end of what I feel is real. But fuck, I'm such a drama queen. I know it's just a crush. I know it's just a
Good morning, everybody. All good with our sound. How are you? Welcome to Pilates and Bounce. I changed the name because I thought a couple of you might be able to use a little inspiration to do some Pilates on the mat, like me. I need a little stretching, a little core connection. It is still a posture class for those of you who had the posture and bounce saved. We're gonna do some Pilates, which is what it was always originally going to be. But we're gonna do a little stretching, we're gonna do a little breathing, and then we'll do a little bouncing towards the end. So if that sounds good for you, welcome, and let's get started. I'm just using a strap, a yoga strap. You can use a bathrobe tie, a belt, a towel, a yoga strap, anything that's gonna help you out. We're gonna use it for a little tactile feedback around our rib cage for breathing. We're gonna use it for a little stretch assistance, and maybe a few other things. We'll see what kind of creativity hits the brain space. I think we're good to go. All right, welcome. Let's have a seat on your rebounder. We will be using your rebounder as a mat, but as always in class, if anything doesn't work for you up here, you can take it down there to your mat. If you need more space for the length of your body, for the width of your body, please feel free to make the adjustments that you need to make in order to make it work for your body, all right? Let's take whatever you have, a towel, a strap, a belt. We're gonna wrap it around the back. I'd like you to have it towards your lower rib cage. So if you're a person who's wearing a sports bra, that's kind of like to the bottom of that elastic, down towards the bottom of the rib, you might be able to feel kind of above your belly button for sure, below your chest line. And we're just gonna hold it right here. And so I'm giving myself a little bit of a snugness, nothing that feels like you're tying anything too tight, nothing that feels like it's restricting movement, more to feel a sense of connection around your rib cage so that you're really aware of the front, the side, the backs of your ribs. When we're ready, we're gonna take a deep breath in, and when you breathe, we're trying to just feel where the ribs are moving. Now, immediately I feel like I have a lot of movement on my right side, which if you're mirroring me would be your left side. And then I'm a little tighter on this side. So if you feel tension, we're gonna try not to freak out about it. We're just gonna take a little more awareness, attention, and try to kind of relax a little bit into that breath. So just take a couple deep breaths, trying to stretch the band as much as you can. And then as you exhale, just breathe out fully through your mouth. Give a little bit of tension at the end to help guide your ribs back towards center. But again, we're not trying to create a new anatomy, okay? It's not about pulling them back. You don't want to do any damage, all right? Ribs are still bones. Bones can still be sensitive, and depending on what you've got going on, you don't want to do more pressure than is necessary. This is for feedback, not necessarily a new form, okay? Deep breath in. Good morning, everybody. I can't see who you are, but I see that you're jumping in. Just breathing with a little feedback to get us nice and warm. We'll do about 3 more breaths, just inhaling and exhaling. See if you can breathe a little deeper. Exhale a little longer. Now the breath work is core work and it's posture work. So it's not only good for us to find a little exhaling and inhaling and get some oxygen into our blood, but it's also nice to bring some work into our back muscles and our core muscles of our abdominals. All right, one more little breath exercise. We're gonna bring that same strap a little higher, right underneath your pits and across your chest. So above your mid chest, towards the top of your rib cage. Give it a little snug here. And then as you breathe in, we're gonna take an inhale. Stretch the band as much as you can. Exhale. Give it a little pull across the top. Again. Exhale. Let's take it 2 or 3 more times, depending on how long and deep your breaths are. One last one. And exhale all the way. Really nice. All right, release. So we've got some breath, some warming up happening. We're gonna take that strap and place it off to the side. Let's swivel our legs around to the side. Take your hands on your knees and warm up the spine. Now you've just had some feedback to our chest and our back. Let's use that feedback as we breathe. So take a deep breath into your chest, into your abdomen, into your rib cage, and as you exhale, round your spine back. Good, and inhale up. And as we're doing this, I want to give a special shout out to user Patricia White, I believe. Of course, all of our subscribers are awesome, but she made a special shout out in the comments about the pace of this channel, and I just want to say I appreciate the acknowledgement, because so many times people are looking for a pace that's a little easier to follow along based on their given needs, and there are plenty of really quick-paced channels on YouTube, and I hope this one fits the needs of the people who are trying to find it. And I like that. I appreciate that Patricia said, hey, I can follow along here. It's a good pace. Let's do one more. Big breath in at the top. Exhale, rounding down. And now we're gonna take it all the way down to your back. Now this is a point where I'm gonna slide my hips out of the way. Make sure your head's definitely on the mat or the bungees, but not on the frame. And then from here, take your hands on your low belly. Just take a moment to let your belly sink. So we're gonna think belly to back to mat, and then press your back into the mat. I want you to do this not so much that your neck gets tension, but that you feel your lower back opening up, you feel your rib cage getting heavy. As we breathe in, let's release everything. Let's just let that breath come in where it needs to breathe. And then as you exhale, drop the weight of your pelvis, press the back of your hips down, press the back of your ribs down. You should feel a little abdominal engagement here as you do this. And let's try it 2 more times. Big breath in. Exhale, empty your lungs. And last one. Breathe out until there's nothing left, all right? Exhale all the way. Good. Let's float our arms up to the sky. Make fists now with that heavy hips, heavy rib cage. We're gonna bring your right knee up to tabletop. See if you can keep everything heavy and then lower it back down to the floor and alternate to the left. You can make this a really easy exercise if you don't move, or if you let everything move, I should say. If you just let it be a random movement of the legs side to side, it's gonna be super easy and it's not gonna feel like much of anything. You're gonna walk away saying Pilates is too easy for me, the end. If you keep your hips pressed down, if you keep your ribs pressed down, if you challenge yourself to move your legs without letting anything else change, then suddenly the exercise becomes a little more challenging and you've got some core connection happening. You got to give yourself some rules in Pilates. It's the kind of modality it is. Otherwise, it's just a lot of little things. But when the little things happen with some big intentions, that's when things start to change. All right, let's bring your right leg up to tabletop. And then when you're ready, press down through your hips and ribs, bring your left leg up to tabletop. All right, now we're really heavy through the back body. You're gonna try to tap your right toe down without arching your back off the mat, and then alternate down. Now, listen, I've been practicing Pilates for almost 20 years. Actually, oops, check your birthday, Jenna. It's been over 20 years. Wah, wah. Anyways, my point is, it's still hard. And the reason is, the work is work when you work it. Unfortunately, this is one of those modalities that you get more proficient at the work, but it does not become easier. It's a sneaky bee, this Pilates work. You get better at working the work. The work doesn't get easier. It's definitely an exercise in tolerance. Good, one more each side. And breath, an exercise in breath, last one. Good, bend your knees in, hug them in. Definitely hip flexors, definitely core connection. Exhale all the way out. And let's bring those legs back to tabletop. We're gonna take our hands out to the frame. Give yourself a good handhold on the frame. And what I like to do is push against the frame. We're gonna hold on here and take a little torso twist. So I'm pushing against the frame, letting my knees go as far as I can over to the right or the left, whatever you like. And then press your waist back down and really concentrate on pressing into the mat. Now you've got the bungees on the rebounder. And what's great about that is you can really use the resistance of those elastics to work through your back body. So you let your knees go over to one side and then you push through the back of your body down into the bungees. Of course, if you have like extra strong bungees, they're not gonna move a lot, but if you have really light bungees, you might be able to sink the mat down and get a little more core connection. It's all in the effort. Let's go a couple more times side to side. And one more. Pressing down. Good, all right. Separate your feet. Place your heels onto the frame. If you need to bring this down on the mat, it's fine. We're gonna go into a little articulated bridge. So we'll roll our hips back. Sink down a lot through your waist before you lift those hips up. And then when you're ready, heel your hips up to the top. Press your shoulders back so you open your chest, hips up, and then roll all the way down. Now as you're rolling through the mat, let's see if you can roll through the mat, just like I said, almost like your body is gonna go below the level of the metal frame. So you're up at the top, and then you're gonna press those shoulders under the frame, press your ribs under the frame, your hips all the way down. Good. Let's do a couple more like that. Peel it up to the top. Press your hips open nice and high, and then peel it all the way down. We are thinking one bone at a time, but we're also thinking about getting really wide through our bodies. Good. All right, let's stay up on this one. Can you roll down along the right side of your spine only? This is a nice one. So as you get down to the bottom, your left hip will stay off, your right hip gets heavy, and then roll through the right side to come up to the top. And then you go to the other side. Peel down, press through those tight spots. This is my tight side. And then peel back up to the top. And then roll it down again. You're just giving a little more love to one side at a time. Hopefully opening yourself up a little bit more. Just trying to find a little more motion. When we isolate, sometimes we can find a little more mobility. Good, let's go one more, each side. Last one on the left. And you reach out through that knee, you get a little bit farther. And then as you roll down through the center, think about both sides getting lots of stretch, lots of length, lots of pressure. Good. Okay. Our feet are here. We're going to swing the arms back around to the back of your head. Take a deep breath in, sink your rib cage, curl up, look at those legs, take your hands behind your legs, and then curl up a little higher. Now, I am so tight in the back today because I did a lot of lifting on my back, so I'm gonna use my hands on the frame, and I'm gonna curl a little bit higher. Oh, it's such a stretch. Once you curl up as high as you can, see if you can hold it there. Reach your arms nice and long. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. We're gonna reach our hands back behind our head. Oh, I don't like that I planned this, and lower it down. Who writes these workouts? Okay. Oh, she's tight. Here we go. Curl it up. Reach your hands to your legs. Curl a little higher. All right, second time's a little better. Reach to the frame. Curl it up a little higher. Reach your arms. Hold 4, 3, 2. We're gonna reach those hands back to your head. Lower down. Oh, hopefully third time will be amazing. Here we go. Curl it up. Hands to the legs. Lift yourself up a little higher. Reach those hands to the frame. Pull. My ribs are sliding to my hips. I'm reaching. Hold. Hold. Hands behind your head. And we lower down. Last time. Curl it up. Hands behind your legs. Curl it up a little higher. Reach to the frame. We're gonna curl up to stay this time. Reach your arms long and pump your arms. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now if you feel good about this, bring your legs right up to tabletop. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. If you are comfortable, bring your legs to 90 or straight up. Yeah, to 90. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now we're going to reach forward. See if you can bring your legs forward to a diagonal. Only if you feel strong in this position. Keep pumping. We got one more chance to lower them to the low diagonal. Good. We go 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bend your knees in. Roll all the way down. Take a little circle in one direction. and in the other direction. And then let's go ahead and rock ourselves all the way up to the top. Nice work. All right, scoot forward, separate your legs. Take those arms outstretched over the legs and try a nice long spine stretch here. Stretching from the tailbone through the crown of your head. Pull your ribs back, reach your arms long. Deep breath in. We start to roll back, curl through your tailbone. We're pressing your ribs down through the mat, through the rib cage. Reach your arms back overhead. Circle your arms around. Find your frame or reach forward. You can use your hands on the frame for help. You can use your legs on the frame for help. Come on up. Take a big stretch over those legs and find that stretch in your lower spine. Here we go again. Peel it back. Reach it back. Big stretch. Heavy hips and ribs as you stretch your arms overhead. Curl around. Reach through. Look for that stretch from your tail through to the crown of your head. We're going to do 2 more here. This is where we get a good chance to practice presence. Just staying with the exercise, not trying to get it done, not trying to move to the next one. Working through that breath, breathing through the entire length of your spine, remembering that breath we did with the strap around your rib cage before. Breathing into your chest. Here's our last one, okay? All the way to the top. Find that spine stretch, and then bring it all the way down to your back. We'll keep one leg on the floor. Make sure you're centered on your mat, and go ahead and grab your strap from the side. We'll put it around your right foot, and we're just gonna flex and point a couple times, just a brief little ankle stretch, calf stretch. We don't get quite enough of these, right? Flex and point a couple times, just working the ankle joint. Pull back. I need to do more of these. We'll do 2 more. Push it up. Pull it back. Good. Now pull it back to a place that's maybe not your most extreme stretch. If you're on your right leg, you're gonna bring both straps into your left hand. Keep your right hip against your rebounder and then cross that leg over towards the left. You can keep it at hip level. You just wanna get a nice outer thigh stretch. If you want more, you can turn the sole of your foot across the room, kind of like shining a light on the bottom of your foot over to the side of the room. Take a deep breath in. Good. Center your foot, press into the strap, bring it back to center. Exchange hands, take your hand to the other side, open your leg out, try to ground through the hip that's down. Say hello to your plants. Nice inner thigh stretch. Good. Press into your strap. Now you can keep your strap on your foot and do your leg circles here, or you can remove your strap and do it without. We'll cross the midline, circle around and up. Remember, your leg circles are going to be as big as you can keep the other hip really stable. So we'll do 5 in each direction, crossing to the left, coming around and up. And then when you do your 5, you can reverse to the other direction. Outer thigh, inner thigh. Keeping the hips, keeping the ribs really strong and heavy to the mat. Once you finish your last one, lengthen it up to the sky, reach it down, open your hip, reach it all the way out, then bend it at the bottom. And we'll bring the other leg up to the top. And we'll flex and point a couple times. Just get into that deep calf stretch. Especially for those of you of a certain age, especially those of you in the perimenopause crew, we start to You know, lose and or gain sometimes. Sometimes we get really, really mobile. Sometimes we get really, really tight. So just checking with our mobility around the ankles and calves can be a good idea to do on the regular. All right, let's take both straps into our right hand. Remember, you're not in the most extreme stretch of your calf, but someplace in between. We're gonna cross it over. I'm trying to keep this hip down, and the reason for that is as soon as I lift my hip off, I'm taking it into a spine stretch. Maybe you need a spine stretch today, but for our purposes, this is just getting that hip warmed up. If you want to increase the stretch down the side of your lower leg, you can turn your sole of your foot towards the side wall. Good. We'll center your foot, press it to the sky, keep the other hip grounded and open it up to the side. Good, press it back up to the ceiling, release or keep the strap and start your circles, 5 in each direction. This is my mobile hip. I like to go for it on this leg. And that's the thing, some days it's a smaller circle, some days it's a bigger circle. All depends. Finish up that 5th one. Reach it up to the sky. Lengthen it down, nice long hips. Let's stretch our arms all the way overhead. Sink through your hips and ribs. Reach your arms to the ceiling, curl all the way up. And right through that tight spot, getting up to the top. Let's come forward. We are right here at the edge. We're gonna take your hands on your knees. Walk yourself up to a balance. You can hold the balance and just try to rock and roll it, or rock to your shoulders, curl up, find your balance here. Ready, set, go. Keep your head off the frame. That's the deal. Tailbone up, tailbone down. Good. Woo. Let's go 3 more. All the way up to the top. We're going to take both hands onto your right knee. Let's take it down, extend that left leg long, pull the right knee in. Just keep it simple with both hands on the right knee, and then switch, and switch, and switch, and switch. Good, reach it long, reach it long. One hip closes all the way, one hip opens. Good, we'll go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull it in, hands to the ankles, deep breath in. Exhale, curl up. I needed that exhale. We're gonna go arms by the ears, legs out nice and wide. Curl around, wide away from your body, but they stay together. Reach and circle around, pull it in. Reach them out, circle around, pull them in. Reach, circle around, pull them in. And last one. And circle around, pull them in. Let's reach one leg up, one leg out. Hold your ankle, your calf, your hamstring. We're gonna pulse it 2 times. And switch, pulse, pulse, and switch, pulse, pulse, and switch, pulse, pulse, switch, pulse, pulse, and switch, pulse, pulse. Good. Last one. And good. Bend your knees, rock yourself all the way up. Really good. All right, take your strap here. We're just gonna take it behind your head, put it right underneath your hair. Give yourself a little pull on your hairline here and just try to lift yourself up. It gives you a little spine stretch. It's like you're lifting the back of your head up and kind of finding a little seated back bend here. Sometimes it just feels nice to give yourself a little, it's like somebody's lifting your head up out of your neck. it should feel supported and not at all chiropractic, okay? So just giving yourself just like a little support to lift your chest, to feel like you have what you need to kind of lift and lean back and open up and come back to center. We'll just do that one more time. Good. Okay, we're gonna take that strap and place it off to the side. And then I'll invite you to come onto your knees for a moment. We're gonna do a little side kick and then get up there and bounce out for the last few minutes that we have. Hopefully it's gonna feel really good to you. So kneeling side kicks, if you need to, you can come down and lay on your side to do these as well. We're gonna take one hand over to the side. One leg just comes out to the side, nice and easy. Your other hand is gonna be up on top of your head. And I always think of pushing my head into my hands for a lot of support from the underneath side. From here, we're gonna lift that top leg, flex your foot, kick it, press it back. Kick it forward, press it back. Ooh, we're cramping a little bit. Kick it forward, press it back. Kick it forward, press it back. Kick, kick, press. Kick, kick, press. Kick, press. Last two, press. Last one, and press. Good, bend your knee in, bring yourself all the way up, and let's find our way to the other side. Reaching it down, extend it, move your hair out of your face, and then we'll lift it up. Kick, kick, press. Kick, kick, and press. Good. That's it. Trying to keep your body still, trying to keep that same sense of connection through your core muscles as your leg just flows. Let's go. 3, 2, and 1. She doesn't want to stay up there. Good. Come all the way up through center. There we go. Take your hands down. And then just separate your knees and round your spine back. Good. Take both hands over to your right. Send your hips to the left. Let's go the other direction. Good. All right, come back to center, tuck your toes under. Let's walk our way up to the standing position. All right, so it's a mini class, and of course, there are, if you look in the playlist under Pilates and Bounce, there are certainly some hour-long ones, some 45-minuters. Let's take your feet hip-width distance apart, find your health bounce, and just feel that up and down, that organization. Shoulders over rib cage, over hips. Unlock your knees. Feel your heels right underneath as your foundation. Toes released. Just let your arms shake out. See if you can let your posture find where it wants to be. So instead of being like a stiff stack of blocks, you're more like, almost like a tree, something that has a little more motion to it, yeah? All right, just a couple more seconds here. Good, and then we're gonna move into a little bounce balance. Side to side, rolling through your toes, pressing from one heel to the next, just finding your way into a little motion. Good. Swinging your arms front to back, remembering to take in some deep breaths, and always keeping those feet soft. Notice the movement in your hips. What does it feel like to have a little bit more warmth there? Some people love Pilates before bouncing. Some people love Pilates after bouncing. I think there's a good argument to be made for both. Good, let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then I'm gonna have you come in to just a nice basic bounce in the center. Good, just swinging those arms, pressing down, Finding that up and down bounce, nice and easy. Releasing tension from your shoulders. And finding your way right here. All right, once you've got that basic bounce going, let's bring it a little closer together. Find that center bounce. Just see if you can feel your way towards landing right in the center, right in your center, every single time. Good. That's it. Can you take your arms out to the side and continue to land in the center? Good job. Good. Let's start to add a little rebound. Out and in. Not so worried about the tempo right now. Just enjoying the experience of bouncing. Good, let's go for a couple more seconds here. Really nice. Good, coming back into the center, adding a little low jog. Think about the hips that we were working in our bridge, how we can keep our hips focusing out in front, how we can just easily shift with the support of our center from one foot to the other. Nice job, everybody. Good work. Be here for a couple more seconds just to boost you up and give you the energy you need to go for the rest of your day. Hopefully the stretches feel good. You got what you needed. Here's the assignment. If you feel like you need a little more cardio, I want to challenge you to put on your favorite playlist and play around. Because while it is awesome, and I so appreciate that you come in to move with me, it's even better when you trust yourself to move with yourself, you know? Good. All right, let's go 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna go back to our health bounce. Find it, take a deep breath in. Hopefully that feels a little better, a little bigger from the beginning of class. Good job. Exhale. Let's do one more big breath. And let everything go all the way to the ground, to the bottom, to the ground. Just let it all go. All right, calm your bounce down. We're gonna do one more thing here, just a roll down and back up to rebuild our posture. Arms by your side. It's the same as we were doing seated. Bring your chin to your throat. Round your spine over. Reach it to the ground. Let your head hang over, bend your knees as much as you need to. If you needed to step off and do this on the ground, that's fine. Press into your feet. Roll up slowly. Drop your tail. Build that posture up, open hips, strong center. Shoulders down, crown of the head nice and tall, chin lifted. Carefully step off of your rebounder. Get ready to go along with the rest of your day. I hope this quick session got you where you needed to be. Don't forget that the power of these Pilates exercises, when done with intention and at a tempo where you can pay attention, is that you can bring them with you. So we have a saying in the form of Pilates that I teach and practice, which is the long-term form, which is more of a practice than a workout in many cases. The saying is speed kills sensation. And while speed can induce caloric burn and in some cases strength and mobility gains, what it often does is that it eclipses your ability to gain awareness and make decisions and choices for yourself beyond the length of the workout that you're in. So if you want that ability to extend your investment into the session that you've taken, if you pay for a Pilates class, by the way, this one is free. If you pay for a private session and you want that investment to extend beyond the hour that you paid for, you go a little slower, you put your attention on the movement that you're doing, you're bound to gain an aha moment, an epiphany, an insight that will be meaningful enough that you'll remember it later and hopefully recall it in a moment that has nothing to do with Pilates, whether it's sitting at your desk, walking upstairs, making dinner, doing something else that's physically motivated. The idea is making those moments meaningful enough when you're with somebody who can help you guide them so that they extend beyond that hour. That is the best advice that I can give you as a long-term Pilates teacher, and I hope that you'll take that one with you and stretch it out and make it last. In the meantime, thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.